Now that you're considering buying the full wig, I'm sure you must be having a lot of questions. In this video, we're going to take a lot of questions which will help you take an informed decision. So let's begin with the first question. When should you cut your hair if you're going to start your chemotherapy? Well, this is one of the most common questions. Obviously, you have no idea when will the hair fall and or when should you shave it off. So let me answer it. Usually when you're going through a chemotherapy, usually the hair starts falling after the second chemo. The first one is usually mild, but after the second chemo, you actually start seeing the hair falling. So what we suggest is, what you can do is, after the first chemo, you can definitely cut the hair slightly shorter. Don't keep it too long because there will be some amount of hair loss, but when the hair falls, it gets knotted. So definitely you should keep it shorter. After the second chemo, you can wait for 3-4 days or 5 days, and then probably you can come and shave it off. So when we say shave it off, you should basically leave the hairline like I suggested in the previous point, that try leaving the hairline and then shave it off, which will basically make the hairline look much more natural. But keep in mind that you should only shave it off when your wig is ready. So make sure when you're placing the wig, plan the days in advance so that when you're about to shave off your head, your wig should be ready by then. When will my hair start falling? Well, this is one of the most common questions that we get. Now let me explain. Let's say on day 1 you start with the first chemo. For the first week or 10 days, it will not fall as much. There will just be a little hair fall. So you may not need the wig in the first week itself. But after the second chemo, it starts falling quite a bit. So usually what we suggest is, after the first chemo, when the hair starts falling, don't keep your hair long because it will get knotted. So try cutting it short. After the second chemo, when it starts falling a lot more, is when you should shave it off. But you keep in mind that, like I suggested in the previous point, that you need to keep the hairline and keep some hair in the front. Don't shave it off completely. Second, when you make sure that your wig is ready before you shave it off. Otherwise, there would be a panic situation.
So beautifully through the process by designing a wig that looked exactly like my hair, and when I got to know that you were there and you were able to actually help me through this process, I had immediate comfort. And guys, if you still don't believe it, I'm going to now demonstrate how I wear my wig and how cool it looks. But if you see, like in the case of this wig, it looks so natural that there is a scalp base and the hair is literally growing from the scalp base. You can't tell the difference, and it looks like my own hair. With this fabulous wig that they made you create for me, ready to face the world.
Can I shampoo these wigs at home? Of course you can, but what we suggest is you need to get yourself trained. You should know the right way to shampoo it, to condition it. We definitely have another video which explains how you're supposed to shampoo and condition it. But honestly, we suggest that at the initial stage, you should send it to a salon, get it done from a trained professional, because they are trained with wigs. There's a particular technique how you're supposed to shampoo it, condition it. So definitely recommend that if you can afford it, send it once a month to the salon so they can take care of it, they can shampoo it, condition it, deep condition it, and maintain the quality of the hair. Will I have to style my hair every day? Well, we definitely suggest that every day you must slightly blow dry it and style it a bit, because obviously by keeping the hair on the dummy, it will get slightly messy. There's quite a possibility. So yes, we recommend every time you wash it or every time you're wearing it, before you wear it, if possible, just style your hair with the iron or the blow drying, and honestly, you will have to get used to it or practice blow drying the wig. Can I take any parting? Yes, of course, you can take any parting, especially if you've chosen the wigs which are like the European wig or the silk top wig. You can definitely part it wherever you want to. You'll have the flexibility of parting either ways. Can I get a natural hairline? Yes, there are certain wigs, like we have the European wig, which does give you natural hairline in the front. Also, another technique is what we suggest is, if you've still not shaved your head, what we suggest, not shaving off the hairline and leaving some baby hair or that thin hair in the front hairline, and then place the wig behind it. So what happens is, it looks much more natural when you place your natural hair over the wig. So if you've not shaved your hair, you should leave the hairline area. Even if there's little hair, that's absolutely fine. It will still make it look much more natural. Another option is you can opt for the natural hairline wigs. These are obviously slightly expensive. They could be about 60,000-70,000, but the hairline looks a lot more natural than the regular wigs. So if budget is not a concern, you can choose for the European wigs. Usually when we cut your hair, there are hair of different lengths, so it's not technically possible for us to separate all these lengths and also making them go through the cleansing process. So just to cut it short, basically making the wig out of your hair is definitely not an option even if you have long hair. Will it be exactly like your own hair? Yes, what we can do is we can definitely match the density, the amount of hair, the length, more or less the texture, but you need to understand now these hair are donated hair, so obviously you can't get the exact texture, but we can definitely try to give you the texture which is closest to your natural hair, and we can customize the density, the length, the color, all of these things we can definitely do it. So to answer your question, yes, we can make it very close to your natural hairstyle and density.
It feels great. I feel that, like I really have some confidence, really feel great with this new look.
Your experience at Alchemane?
I would recommend it 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I need only for 6 months. Now a lot of women think that when you have these wigs you will probably need it for 6 months. Generally you need the wig for a longer period, purely because once you stop the chemotherapy, the hair takes around 8 to 12 months to grow out. Also when it grows out, it generally grows out at times curly, so the length will not show. So generally we suggest that you will need the wig for probably a year or maybe around 14 months. So just in case if you're thinking that you will just need for 6 months, that may not be true because the hair growth is comparatively slow, the cost being high. Usually these wigs are not cheap, purely because they are made up of 100% human hair, and 100% human hair also there are a lot of qualities. They're double drawn, there's Remy hair wherein all the cuticles are in one direction, then there's single donor, which means that the hair comes from one single donor. Now what happens is when you take the hair from one single donor, the texture is much better and the hair is much more flowy. So usually what we suggest is using a double drawn Remy hair, but these are all very high grade human hair. In human hair there are a lot of textures that you get, lot of qualities that you get, but when you choose the double drawn Remy hair, obviously it is slightly more expensive than the regular wigs. But our suggestion is going through this phase for a woman, it's very difficult when they are going through that phase. We understand because we do that day in day out. Of course, when you start losing your hair, it will affect your confidence as well. We strongly suggest that do not compromise with the quality of the wig. Just to add one more point, these wigs usually are customized once, so that's the reason the cost goes higher. These are made to order, the wig cap will be made for you, so that is the reason the cost goes higher. Is the wig secure? Does it come off easily? Well, the answer is no. These wigs are pretty secure. Usually when you wear the elastic one, it's quite secure. It doesn't come off at all. So there are millions of them who wear these wigs and they are extremely secure. It doesn't come off. But of course, somebody who really tries to pull it, of course it will come off. But generally when you wear these elastic ones, they are quite secure, they are quite comfortable and it doesn't come off. Can I sleep with it? Well, we do not suggest you sleeping with the wig purely because it will get uncomfortable. So you can wear it in the morning and remove it in the night. However, I understand that let's say if you're traveling or you're out for a couple of days, you can wear it. In that case, what we suggest is just place the pillow under your neck and then sleep, because that will just keep it slightly comfortable. Otherwise, it may get quite uncomfortable. Any discounts for cancer patients or alopecia patients? Well, what you can do is you can call up our executive and tell them that you have cancer or you have alopecia. You are entitled to around 10 to 15% discount, but what would be the total cost would be difficult for us to explain in the video, because purely it depends on the length, volume, texture, the kind of customization that you need. So what I suggest is you can speak to the executive and they will help you with the cost. So what's your message to all of them, like who are losing their confidence because of hair, and during that phase it's very tough?
So come here, get a fab wig. Winnie's awesome, and so is the staff. So please come, explore, enjoy.
Thank you. Come. Can I wear it the whole day? Of course you can. Usually these bases are quite thin. The ones that we do, we try to give you a thinner base. So even if you wear it the entire day, you will still feel comfortable. Just make sure don't make it too heavy and don't make it too long, because what happens is when you keep it too heavy and long, it just becomes too heavy, becomes uncomfortable. So our suggestion is always keep the wig slightly mid-length or maybe shorter, and keep the density low, because during chemotherapy you do feel slightly weak. Comfort becomes your priority. So choose something which is much more comfortable, which is shorter and not too heavy. Why Alchemane Wigs? So let me answer this question. We basically specialize in these cancer and alopecia wigs. We fully customize these because we strongly believe that these standard wigs usually don't really look good. They don't really look natural. So we definitely customize the density, the length, the texture, the volume, the density on top. We keep the density heavy at the bottom. We fully customize it so that it looks exactly like your natural hair. Secondly, we also give you certain options in terms of quality and pricing. So there are, just to give you a little idea, there are 3 categories. One is the lace base with double drawn Remy hair, wherein the base is made up of lace. Now to make it even better, you have the silk top base. In silk top, when you see from the top, fully looks as if the hair is growing out of the scalp. And then if your budget is not a concern and if you really want a very high-end wig, you can go for the European hair wig, which gives you a natural hairline. It gives you that silk top on top. Also, the hair that we use is pure original European hair, so it's softer, it's shinier, so that you can make a choice according to your budget and your expectation. Any after sales support? Well, we believe that after the wig also you have usually a lot of questions, or there could be any concerns like you want to change the clip, or basically you want to add the density, reduce the density, you want to cut it short, or there's any assistance that you need how to wear it. We definitely provide this after sales support. Just in case if you ordered online, you can definitely courier it to us and tell us that what are the changes that you need. We can incorporate those changes and send it back to you. How long does the wig last for? Usually these wigs would last you for probably around 8 to 12 months, but obviously if you're not going to wear it too often, it will definitely last for a longer time. So it totally depends on how well do you take care of them. Can I use my own hair for the wig? Of course, this is again one of the most common questions. So let me explain. Generally, the wig making process is pretty long and we source out hair in bundles. So technically, it's not possible for us to take your hair and then make it, because it's not as simple as just taking hair and putting it on the wig. It has to go through a process which is hackling, shampooing, conditioning it, detangling it, then knotting it, then fixing it on the wig. So technically it's not possible to use your hair. We generally suggest that try to choose a texture which is similar to your hair texture, but using your hair will not be an option. How long does the wig last? The wig usually lasts for a couple of years because it's made of 100% human hair. Of course, it will not be as healthy as the first month because it's all fresh hair, but over a period of time, because there is not enough nourishment, the hair tends to go a little dry, and of course, because of your usage, the density reduces. So just to give you an approximately idea, it definitely stays for more than a year, and there are some people who have also used it for a couple of years.
So I have alopecia, and over a period of 3 years, I've lost most of the hair on my head. Met Vineet pre-COVID about 3 years ago, and this is what Vineet has made for me.
I hope these insights were valuable, and we request you, if you know somebody who is going through chemotherapy or has alopecia or going through a major hair loss, please share the video. This may be helpful to her. Thank you so much, and please subscribe to Alchemane Hair Extensions.